on umpteen times. I think you can't. People go to war and then the next day they have to sit down. Indeed, they are in war. Look at Northern Ireland with power sharing. You are in war. Look at Fiji and all this. You are in war, and then the next day you have to sit down. This day is not sitting down and waiting for trust and all that. Indeed, if you had trust, you wouldn't perhaps need power sharing. It's a matter of, as Peter said, it's a matter of coming to the realization that you can't get it on, that you can't. And I think perhaps if I was the chair of GCOM and I was in this position and the evidence, as I said, must be clearly investigated, and the evidence shows that I have to do something radical here, I would have had it in my power I believe, to call all the parties, call individually together and say, listen, I am prepared now to call for the two of you people to work together. Let us say under the chairmanship, I'm getting radical here, under the chairmanship of the Chancellor of the Judiciary, because she is the third person in line, to clean this list and come back to elections in 18 months. I'm saying, assuming the evidence from the thing shows that it what needs to be, that there is this problem. And then if Jack Joe says he doesn't want it, I speak to them and say, well, then I'll have to give it to Mr. Granger to do this in 18 months. I don't want to. I would prefer give it to both of you. But if you are saying you don't want it, it's got to be done. The list has to be clean. You have to have a proper process, a proper voter management process, as Peter was saying, and all of that. Because, you know how many times they tried to change the ink that you were speaking to, Peter? They tried this. I was told that the ink highest quality you can have without affecting people. And what do you think they did that for? Because they know people go in and do this.
Okay, quickly.
And if that was not possible, I would say the same thing to Mr. Jagdio. I'll say I am trying to put both of you together to come together and speak under the chairmanship, let's say, of the Chancellor, and at least for 18 months or 2 years to try to get the electoral process right. And perhaps you people can sit down at the same time and think of how you can move this country ahead. But that's not my concern. My concern is to get the electoral process correct. And it will take about 2 years, and I'm willing for the two of you, no individual, not of the PNC, not the PDP, but under the chairman of the Chancellor of the Judiciary, to run a government of national unity for that time.
Okay,
and let's see what will happen.
Quickly, Mr. Campbell. Wrap-up comments.
Like Henry, I'm passionate about a new model for Guyana. I'm not sure about the legal and underpinnings and constitutional underpinnings for what Henry suggests, but he did allude to Northern Ireland, where power sharing came as a result of much violence, and we know in Guyana the Herdmanson Accord itself was had at its basis unrest on the streets. I'm hoping we can avoid that in this occasion. I will await, in my case, a decision from the chairman of GCOM, but that coming out of that, whatever the decision is, that going forward, that as a people we can come together. I am like Peter. He lives in Barbados, but I live in Guyana, and I know that we don't have to have this ethnic divide, and that we can live and work cooperatively. It just takes leadership, the will and leadership to get it done. And so my hope is that whatever the decision of GCOM, of the chairman of GCOM, that it's no party will take Peter's position and say, listen, I've won everything and I share in power. That whoever is forms the next government will say, listen, it is a time for change. It is a time for for a new governance model for Guyana. And to my mind, that must include some form of power sharing. I believe it's work. To do nothing is not an option.
Mr. Ramkran, I know that we made a point earlier that we invited you here in your capacity as a senior counsel and the former House Speaker, but the party to which you belong has, for all intents and purposes, secured a seat in the National Assembly. You have not secured a balance of power between the two major parties. Do you think you have lost the role in doing so by virtue of how the Parliament seems to be configured whenever it's all over?
Well, what it says is that we have not been able to persuade electorate on the issue of power sharing. And call for inclusive governance. And we need to devote our attention to try to build up popular support for the objective of power sharing, while at the same time trying to create systems of inclusive governance which will push the process forward. The bitterness is so strong that I doubt whether we'll have the support of the captain to lose the election. But we have tried. That's our job. That's our mission. And that's what we have to do for Guyana while we're alive.
Gentlemen, I'd like to thank you very much for joining us in Periscope on Politics on this edition. We were listening to Periscope on Politics. The topic, what is the way forward after the recount, challenges, solutions, and opportunities. Talking with us were Caribbean political scientist and Paul Sir Peter Wickham, former House Speaker, Senior Counsel Ralph Ramkran, political commentator Terence Campbell, and political analyst Dr. Henry Jeffrey. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Dennis.
A pleasure. Periscope on Politics, a production of News Talk Radio Guyana 103.1 FM. This program was co-produced by Tiana Jordan and Jessica Dahl. I'm Dennis Chabot. Take care, gents.
Bye.